office. Many of you have done these, but we're just going to do some press ups. We sit all day long. We're going to do about 10 of these, but basically we sit all day long. We don't move in this direction often. We're really trying to keep the legs relaxed, just pressing up. Doing about 10 of these. Perfect. After you get 10 of those, we're just going to lay flat, put our forehead on our hands here. We're going to try to just roll our hips down. Basically push our pubic bone into the ground and just try to roll our hips backwards. Pelvic tilts. We're just going to do about 10 of these. Good. Now that we got those done, we're going to do some hip mobility. If our back is feeling tight, we need to make sure the hips are moving right. So these are just called hip cars. So we're going to make a fist with our bottom hand, grab with the top. We're going to push that bottom hand down, push it that way, grab with the top and pull back in. We're trying to make sure all the other joints in our body are quiet or not moving. We're just going to move and bottom toes come up towards our face. We're just going to move our top leg, knee up towards our chest, bring it out, rotate that foot behind us, back down, and we're going to kick back, bring it up, around, back down. So that was one rep. Let me scoot out so I get a little bit more room. We're going to bring knee up towards chest, open it up, rotate it back behind, reach way back. Good. And we reverse that, reach way back, bring that knee up over the hurdle, back down. 2. We got 3 more. Up here, rotate back around. Good. Back down. 2 more. Up, reverse that back, down. Good. Now we're going to do the other side. So punch the bottom hand out, grab with the top, pull back in, toes up towards your face, knee towards chest, out, rotate, around, kick back, up, around. Good. Reverse that out, back down. You're going to notice your hip is really working hard. Mine's already very fatigued. Good. Up, down, kick back, down. Good. Now we got work on our breath. So if you've been to our office, we work on breath a lot. Big breaths into the belly. Good. Now we want to drive our low back into the ground. Lift the legs about 90 degrees, 120 degrees there. Just getting breath into the belly, keeping our low back against the ground. In just a second, we're going to start moving our legs. So we want to make sure that we get good breath and keeping our spine against the ground. We're going to kick one leg, tap that heel while still maintaining contact with the ground. Come back. Going back and forth. Good. If you feel hip popping, we need to get more pressure into our belly. Good. Going back and forth. You should feel your core working and not your low back muscles. Good. Now, we gotta start getting our hips warmed up in our ability to actually lift. So, we're gonna get our knees 90 degree out like this. Let me scoot the camera back. .90 here. Now our top half is going to go down into a plank. We're going to roll our hips in and lift up, pushing down with this knee, rolling. We're going to do 8 reps here. You should feel a good stretch, but also work in that bottom hip. We're going to switch to the other side. So 90 degrees, plank position here, lift. Eight reps there. Good. Now, again, we're going to go back into what we call a low bear position. We're just going to work on breathing into here. Good breaths. Good. Now we're going to dig our toes in. We're going to lift our knees a ½ inch off the ground. We want to make sure that we're breathing into the belly, bracing with our core and not using our back muscles. Just going to hold this for a good 20 seconds. Go back down. Come back up. Back down. When you go to lift, or lift off your knees, I want you to breathe deep into the belly and hold that pressure. Good. Now we're going to walk up to our hands. Add a little bit more load back into the hips. We're going to lift up. Now we're gonna, after we lift up, we're gonna start lifting our hands and our legs up off the ground. So we're gonna do a around the world fashion. So we're gonna go up, lift right hand, left hand, left foot, right foot, right hand, left foot, left hand, left foot, right foot, right hand, left hand, left foot, right hand, left hand, left foot, right hand. When we do this, we want to make sure that we're not rocking side to side to lift our hand. Try to go around about 8 times. Now, from here, we've already been in this position. We're just going to make sure our spine is still moving good. So we're going to do a cat-cow. You want to really focus it in the low part. So if you had a belt buckle and you had a laser pointer on it, we're trying to point that between our ankles. And we're going to roll that spine, try to point that laser out in front of us. Back down. And do about 8 reps here. Good. Got that going good. Now what we're going to do is we are going to, from this position, we're going to pop up off of our knees. We're going to push back into like a downward dog. Come back. The goal is that we're not rounding through the spine to do that. We're keeping that stable. We're moving through the hips and the shoulders. Just going back and forth. We're going to do 8 reps here. Now, we're gonna push that back into a deep spot. So, we've already pushed back into here. Now we're gonna push, we're gonna go into a squat. Walk back out of it, push back into a squat. We're warming up our ankle range of motion, just going back and forth. Good. Now that we've pushed back into a squat, we're gonna grab our feet, squat to stand, back, squat this hand. You're gonna feel a stretch in the back of the hamstrings. We're gonna do 8 reps here. Good. Now the last one, come up to standing. We're just gonna call these bows, and we're just gonna push the hips back. Feel a good stretch in the back. We're just gonna do 8 reps here. Trying to keep all of this in a stable position. Do 8 reps.